Going to get David on. I'm going to get Samuel on to have their say. David. Another terrible day as a Chelsea fan. Talk to me, mate. Talk to me.
It's so annoying to watch. Like, honestly, it's so annoying to watch. There's an element of we're unlucky because how Sterling's free kick actually doesn't go in the goal, or both of Colwell's chances that don't go in. Like, how they don't go in, I actually don't know. But there's also just an element of complete, like, lacking in, I don't even know what the word is for it. It's just lacking in common sense. And like, Conor Gallagher is captain and he can't pass. Honestly, he's a worse version of Mount. I don't know, like, the way people had chests for Mason Mount and Conor Gallagher is still just rocking around starting matches. I don't know. Pochettino, I want to like him, but he's making it incredibly tough. Why don't you play players in their actual position? Chilwell is a left back, play him at left back. Colwell is a centre back, play him at centre back. If you've got too many centre backs at your club, you've planned poorly, but that doesn't mean you've got to play 3 centre backs in the back line. We're not Manchester City. We don't have a system in place yet that can deal with whatever Pep's trying to do over there. So don't do that system. Surprisingly, Mudryk was actually probably the best attacker out of all of them, but he barely got the ball. Every time he got the ball and he was in contact with Jackson, it actually looked serviceable and all right. But he got the ball about 3 times. But no, they kept chucking it out to Sterling. And Sterling just, he loves a good dribble. But then there is one person in the box and Bournemouth have 5 people in the box. So the odds of Jackson even getting the ball are incredibly low. It doesn't make sense. It's just not making sense. I want to back Poch. I really do. And I'm not Poch out. I'm not stupid. Like, it's been 5 games. I've got to keep an element of, reality. But it's just, it's so tough to watch. And it's just poor. Like, we should have won that game. We should have been up about 3-0 in about 10 minutes. Yep. Gallagher loves punting the ball over the net. Like, what do you like? There's an element of it's Poch's fault, but there's also an element of some players in that squad you shouldn't be playing.
Facts.
Simple.
What you saying, Don? Okay, Matty, what you saying, bro?
Bro, I mean, I said last week, rip off the arm badge of Chilwell, but that does not mean you're going to give it to Conor Gallagher. When I saw that thing in the lineup, I knew we were losing. I said it's going to be a 0-0 because you start off one of the biggest clubs in England and you put Conor Gallagher, a player who's one of the worst players of this club, as your captain. That's how you represent the club. That's not how you represent on how you play football. And that's how we lost this game. We start off with that. Then you've got Pochettino playing. We've had 4 left backs at the start of the season. Now we've come down to playing a centre back in left back. But if you're not Pep Guardiola, don't be as confusing. You're playing Vardy or Ake. Yeah, play your simple. You got Chibol there, your Matson there. Play that simple. Thiago Silva, this guy's 40. I'm saying the same thing. You know what the thing is? I've been sitting here watching Chelsea. I've been on these channels for about 2 years. I've been coming on saying the exact same thing. Nothing's been changing. Like, I'm gonna repeat myself. You go back to 2 years, I'm saying the same thing. Same shit's happening. I sat here and I said Graham Potter is too scared to make changes. Pochettino is doing the exact same thing in the front line. We're playing with the exact same simple 3 up the front. You're playing Enzo in his 10 role. You got Cole Palmer on the bench. This comes down to Poch. This is strike 3 for me for Poch. I'm not going to judge the gun and say Poch out because I was never Poch in. The same thing. I was never Poch in, so I'm not going to be Poch out. But he really, really, really needs to step it up because you've got Villa next week. We're going to get smoked by Villa. Bournemouth are one of the worst clubs in this league. If you can't beat Bournemouth, the worst club, you're going to get absolutely smoked by Villa if you do not step up. And for me, overall, I think Sanchez was quite good. He kept us in the game. Sanchez kept us in the game right there. Bournemouth were the better team. You look at the last 10 minutes, I thought Bournemouth spent $1 billion because they were going to shoot opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. They were going to win 3-4-0 if it wasn't for their front line who can't shoot. They were creating opportunities left, right, centre. Mudryk as well. Mudryk is a good player. He needs to start consistent. He's the only person who created opportunities. Then Poch just randomly takes him out. I don't know what to say. At least, and I want to say this right now. Potter coaching last year is better than this Pochettino, because Potter had players who didn't want to play for him, and he still got us to some wins. Poch has a $1 billion squad, a team who is more than capable of scoring 3 and 4 past Bournemouth, and you still can't get to go and it's still 0-0. This is the worst start to a coach in history. It's worse than Potter. Potter at least stepped up last season when he first came in, but this is embarrassing. This is really embarrassing. This is more embarrassing than last season's Chelsea, guys. Come on, we got to step this up.
Don, do you agree with that? Is this worse than life on the Graham Potter right now?
I mean, listen, this is just out of character from Poch. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand what he's doing with these lineups, man, and why he's playing certain people in certain positions. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, today I saw Chilwell on the bench and Mudryk starting. I said, you know what? Let's see how that works, innit? Let's see how it goes in the first half. Obviously, there was a few chances we created. We should have scored quite early on. We didn't take them. That's on the players, not on Poch. But again, you know, during the whole first half, you can see that it wasn't working. You can see Gallagher in the pivot doesn't work with Enzo playing in that 10 because he doesn't get on the ball enough. Terry, you've said it yourself. Like, Gallagher's not good enough to be playing for Chelsea. Why is he our captain? This is a player that the club have literally said is more of an asset off the pitch than he is on the pitch. They tried to get rid of him, you know, and this guy is still starting for us in a pivot. It doesn't make any sense, bro. You know, you've got Levi starting at left back as well. You know, I'm basically repeating what David's been saying pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So, and Matt as well. So right now, this is on Poch, man. He's making some terrible, you know, decisions in game. I was bigging up Klopp yesterday with his in-game management. Look what he did at halftime. Do you know what I'm saying? He took McAllister off. He put Szoboszlai in that 6. And look what happened when Darwin and that came on. That's what you call good in-game management. Poch was literally watching the whole game, decides to take off Mudryk, decides to take off Enzo, puts Palmer on the right when Palmer should have been playing in the 10, really, you know, and then put Maatsen on in that 10 when he should have come on the left for Mudryk later on. So the in-game management right now, I just can't agree with it, man. It's very amateur-like, you know, it's unlike Poch, to be honest with you. And he needs to fix up. He needs to fix up quickly as well, Terry, because these are games that we need to be, you know, we need to be picking up points quickly. And we just don't look like we're gelling in any way because the setup is incorrect. You know, the whole first half, I was shouting at Thiago Silva, release the ball, play it. I'm shouting at them as if I'm there at the ground. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything's so slow. This is why I've been on here, Terry. People have been telling me we're dominating games. We're not. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't be running around with the ball, doing nothing with it and saying that's dominating. That's not dominating, bro. And I'm not taking away the misses today. Yes, we should have scored some of these chances. But overall, when you can see that it's not working, the lineup is not working, you make changes there and then. He's not being brave enough. And this is something that I never expected to be saying about Poch, about him not brave enough, because this is what I was saying about Potter. So, yeah, Poch needs to fix up, man. He needs to take this handbrake off, Terry, and just revert back to basics. You know, Levi, I'm tired of this left-back thing. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. Do you get it? I'm so tired of it. Please, no more. No more Gallagher in the pivot. It shouldn't even be here anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? The amount of times this guy breaks down our attacks is ridiculous. He was doing it all last season. We're too tolerant on Conor Gallagher. He doesn't start for any of the top 6 sides. Why should he start for Chelsea? Why? People keep telling me, oh, yeah, well, he's been playing all right. He's been doing a bit better. No. His quality is not good enough. He's not good enough. He breaks down so many chances. The guy is not good enough. If you're going to keep him, bring him off the bench. I pray we move him on in January because I knew this would happen, Terry. I told everyone. I said every single manager in world football, right, they have their favourites and they've got players that they like. Conor Gallagher is that for Poch. As much as we don't rate him, Poch likes him. And the fact that he made him his captain, dark days if you carry on depending on that man. Dark days. Because he's not good enough. He's not good enough.
Mate, I hear you on that completely. I really do. I want to go to some of these super chats before I speak to Winter Surfer and Sam. This says, when are people going to call out Todd Bowley? He has spent $1 billion in a year and a half, and people are talking about progress taking time. Potter is at home smirking a little bit, is what Paul says here. If Palmer was at City, he would have taken the shot.
Yeah, he should have shot.
Yes.
He should have shot. He should have shot.
Or play a better ball. I mean, in the end, that looked to me in the end, and isn't it amazing? I've been talking about this mentality. At City, he either shoots and scores or he plays the right pass. That was indecision that led to that pass. Because it was almost, he put the power into the pass that he was almost thinking about putting into the shot. In the head, 110% for me. To Caicedo and Lavia, you could have been challenging for the title. Now you're battling relegation. Jackson moving like Frozone from The Incredibles.
Jackson was poor today. He was poor today.
He was poor. He was
But
poor.
he didn't get any ball.
Yeah, he got
He
no
wasn't
to the
getting
back.
any ball. Like,
I mean,
there
yeah,
was no-
obviously the setup was incorrect. Like Enzo wasn't dictating the game, and he wasn't really getting any chances like that. But when he was getting the ball, David, he was slipping everywhere, bro. He wasn't doing anything on the ball. Let's be real
But
here.
my point is that he's a striker, right? We're playing Bournemouth, and regardless of how Bournemouth play football, when we get near their box, they're going to pile that box in. If you're one person and you've got 5 or 6 people around you, and then your winger's about 20 yards away from you, you're going to be sat there going like, "What do you want me to do?" Because
Quite isolated,
fine.
yeah.
If Jackson turns one defender, he's got another 4 to beat anyway, because there's no one in the box. There's no one in the box. The approach play is poor. We hold the ball really well, and we progress up the ball really well. And then we get into the final third. It's like,
yeah, but the point I'm making is that Jackson in possession is quite comfortable usually. You know, today he didn't seem as comfortable as what we've been seeing. He seemed a bit rattled today. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know whether it was I'm never gonna say it, but yeah, Jackson wasn't good today. I'm gonna be so real with you.
But the thing is as well, because you've been done before, that Enzo was in that role. The reason why I think Jackson wasn't getting that ball is because Enzo is way too far up. I think Enzo's positioning today was absolutely horrendous. I think he was either too far up or too far back. And Jackson as well, we usually see at the start kind of come and collect his own balls. On the ball, he's good. That link up with Mudryk at the start was very good. It was a very good quick link up. But as soon as Mudryk came off, he just ghosted. So I think that comes down to his best ability is quick link up. When Poch took that off, that's when he was off.
Yeah, it's look, I thought it was. Again, I agree. I think it was poor today for multiple reasons. Don, are Chelsea still finishing third and above Liverpool?
No, I've put Liverpool ahead of us. I've already said this. I said the firepower is too much. I've said we're going to finish 4th, but I'm only predicting that if Poch fixes up, goes back to basics, and again with a lot of the injuries that are going to come back, they're going to come back. Let's not act like they're out for the whole season. These guys are going to come back. So I expect Poch to revert back to basics. We're not going to finish in the top 6 with this setup as we are. If we go back to basics, we've got a chance, innit?
This here says Arsenal and City have centre backs as fullbacks. It's competency, is what Brian says here.
But they have fullbacks who are. It's harder to explain, but Levi Colwill is not a centre back who you put a left back because he doesn't play football that way.
Yeah, do you know why it's not going to work for us? Yeah, do you know why it's not going to work for us?
You wouldn't put Van Dijk in a fullback role, would you?
Yeah, exactly.
Terry, it's not going to work for us because we haven't actually identified a style of play yet. So you're trying to create a style of play, but then you're playing someone out of position. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said to Hannah a few weeks ago, you will never build the chemistry you need doing that, Terry. It doesn't make sense, bro.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
Well, Man United did exactly the same thing yesterday. We went to this 4-4-2 diamond, but that's not how the team's been playing and training for weeks. And then you change it and try and beat a team like Brighton, who are so well drilled. You come unstuck. You have to look at the manager for that. Todd Boehly is the worst thing that has happened to Chelsea Football Club. We are worse than we were last season. I mean, statistically speaking, that's about true as of right now. Jackson is the worst finisher in the Prem. Is he what Chelsea fans believed what Kai Havertz would be, but only worse? Is he worse than Kai Havertz, Winter Surfer?
No, because Kai Havertz got the chances and missed. So, no. And I see Kai Havertz has been dropped today. Oh, sorry, rested for the Champions League matches. So I forgot about that.
Yes, Fabio Vieira starts today for us. That's true.
Yeah, he's rested for the Champions League, Terry, in the group chat.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
I swear if Concedo was playing, Bournemouth would have scored, is what Hammy says here. We are playing well, creating plenty of chances, just not finishing them off. It's a new squad. It will take time. If playing badly, I'd be more worried.
And we're not playing well, bro. We're not.
Excuses, bro. It's just too many excuses to take time. We're going to say fucking take time for 4 years, guys. We got to establish quick $1 billion squad. We played well in preseason, and we're not playing well as well, as Don said. The transition of player we're playing is, I think, just overall generally horrendous. Too many mistakes. Too many basic mistakes. But I don't know. I'm just
confused. I'm confused. Are you creating chances or are you not creating chances? Because I've seen a split of Chelsea fans saying, "Oh, we are creating chances," and then the other half saying, "We're not creating chances." So what is
we're
it?
not creating. We're not creating, in my opinion, clear-cut chances. I think in the first half we had minimal chances, but you compare that to what Bournemouth had. Bournemouth had 4 chances in 15 minutes. We had 4 chances just in the first half by one single player, but they weren't clear-cut chances.
Today
So
we did
you use them as a,
today we did create some clear cut chances. Like when Mudryk tried to cut it back to Gallagher, that should have been a better pass from him. It should have been on the floor. And when Conor Gallagher slipped it through to Sterling as well, that was another clear cut chance. So today we did create some clear cut chances. No one's excusing that. And Samuel, you're right. We're creating chances, but overall they haven't been clear cut in all the games that we've seen so far, bro.